Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Highly Sensitive Healing. My name is Jessie Joy. I'm an author, an intuitive healer, and an emotional freedom coach. And I'm so blessed and I'm so honored to be here serving your journey. And if you like the topic of this video, please take a moment to go ahead and like this video and click the subscribe button and come along with me on this journey as we dive deep into the world of healing and mindset and personal empowerment to help you thrive in full alignment with who you truly are so you can step into your purpose and do what you're called to do. And in today's video, I'll be talking all about people pleasing. And I'll be talking about why we do it, what drove us to do it, and how we can put a stop to it for good. So buckle up. This is such an important topic, so let's dig right into it. Now, people pleasing isn't something that you're born knowing how to do. It's a habit or a behavior or really a coping mechanism that you develop sometime along the way. Typically, people pleasing is developed at a younger age, and those who are highly sensitive and empathic tend to develop this habit more easily and naturally than those who are not highly sensitive. Now, this need to please ultimately stems from the wounded self, because when we don't properly address the wounded parts of the self, and we're living with deeply embedded beliefs and emotional imprinting and thought attachments that make us feel like we're not good enough or there's something wrong with us as we are, we develop low self-esteem and low self-confidence, and we can take on certain coping mechanisms like people pleasing as a means of finding validation and acceptance that we're so desperately seeking. And I know this very well as a recovered people pleaser myself. I spent most of my life as a chronic people pleaser, actually. So much so that I literally lived to please others. As a child, I was involved in the activities and the sports that my parents suggested. As a teenager, I always did what my friends wanted me to do, so I would fit in. I went to a college because my family wanted me to. I attended church every Sunday and went to every family event because that's what everyone else wanted from me and expected of me. And as an adult, I entered a respectable career driven by a cushy salary and growth opportunities because that's what would please my family and my extended family. I lived to please everyone else because I feared rejection so deeply. I feared not being enough or not being accepted if I dared to explore my personal needs and wants. So I had basically lived my entire life doing what everyone else wanted me to do and being interested in what everyone else wanted me to be interested in. And ultimately, my chronic need to please, this need to please came at the expense of myself. I had no voice. And honestly, I came to the point where I didn't even know how to express my needs and wants and desires because I wasn't sure what they were anymore. I was living for everyone else. I had spent most of my life so desperate to be accepted and liked and validated and approved of that I had lost the connection to who I truly was. And by my mid-30s, I realized that I had spent the majority of my life without ever taking the time to really understand what I wanted or what I needed because I was too busy fulfilling the wants and the needs of everyone else. So I totally get it because I've been there. I mean, I was literally the poster girl for people pleasing. And if you're a sensitive woman who is struggling with people pleasing and the associated emotional woundings, and you desire to break free and reclaim your healing and your empowerment, I have a free video course on how to heal and find balance as a sensitive woman. So I encourage you to pause the video and go grab the free course by clicking the link in the description below this video. The free course, it's filled with detailed information about why you're struggling on your journey and how you can make some simple shifts to cultivate the healing and the balance and the freedom that you've been seeking. So pause the video, grab the free course, and then keep watching as we get into this topic deeper. All right. So where do these woundings come from? Well, as sensitive souls, we're born into a world that doesn't understand us. And this lack of understanding gets mislabeled as being of us being different or overly sensitive or too deep or too intense or even wrong for feeling and experiencing life the way that we do. And this is not about blame. There's no one to blame here. It's just a lack of understanding. But unfortunately for us, this lack of understanding makes us feel misunderstood and unheard. In fact, I often feel like I'm almost speaking a completely different language that only other sensitive souls can understand. So this lack of understanding, it leads to an initial thought attachment of being different. And that thought attachment leads to feeling unworthiness or not being enough. And that thought and feeling combination becomes a belief as it continues to be reaffirmed. And then each time that we're in a situation or a conversation where our sensitive nature was labeled or interpreted as different, we create a mental and emotional imprinting and patterning surrounding this belief. So we begin to believe that if all of these people around me feel the same way, that I'm different or too intense or too sensitive or that I'm not normal, then it must be true. So we begin to believe that we're different or less than or not normal. And then this leads us to adopting the beliefs that we're not good enough, not worthy enough, not valuable enough, not acceptable in society as we are. And this leads to low self-esteem and lack of confidence in who we are as a sensitive being. And when we have low self-esteem and low self-confidence, we don't just desire, we crave acceptance and validation. Because acceptance is a human desire. We're born with the need for acceptance because acceptance is the precursor to love. Without acceptance, there can be no love. So this craving, this unquenchable thirst we have for validation and acceptance then leads us to people pleasing, because we've observed other relationships throughout our lifetime because we are highly aware. We've processed human behavior and analyzed it because of our depth of processing, and we're highly emotionally intelligent. So we know through this observation and through this learning that other people gain acceptance and validation and approval by fitting in and by doing what everyone else sees as like acceptable or normal or approved of. This is where people pleasing comes from. People pleasing is a coping mechanism that becomes a behavior and a habit. Now, I want to be really clear on two things here. Number one is that it's okay that you've arrived here. It's okay that you've adopted the behavior of people pleasing. When you look carefully at the process that I just discussed, it's easy to see why we become people pleasers as sensitive women. And there's nothing wrong with the thoughts and the feelings that you've experienced and that have led you here. Your feelings are absolutely valid. So let yourself off the hook. Don't beat yourself up over this. You have always been doing what you feel like you needed to do out of self-protection and self-preservation. As humans, that's really what we're designed to do. So try to have grace and compassion for yourself. And number two is that you can absolutely shift this and break the habit and behavior of people pleasing. You can ditch the need to please. And because people pleasing is rooted in low self-esteem and low confidence and the need for validation and acceptance, this is where we need to place focus. When you can boost self-esteem and self-confidence and self-worth, you will not only naturally find acceptance, but you'll dissolve the need for validation. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, the root of confidence is understanding. When you understand something, you develop confidence in your understanding. So really, low self-esteem and low self-confidence are rooted in a lack of self-understanding. When you truly understand who you are as a sensitive woman and how you operate mentally, emotionally, and physically, and what you need and what will support you and what makes you tick, you gain confidence in who you are. And when we become confident in who we are, our mental and emotional patterning begins to shift, and we can begin to find validation for who we are and accept who we are. So confidence creates validation, and validation creates acceptance. And when we feel validated and accepted, we no longer need to gain approval or acceptance through the act of people pleasing. So ultimately, self-understanding is the first step in releasing the habit of people pleasing. But understanding has two equal layers. There is self-understanding, and then there is being understood, or having the understanding from others. So in order to ditch the need to please, we need to gain a deeper understanding of who we are. We need to educate ourselves, because self-knowledge is power, and we need to surround ourselves with others who understand us and get us and have our back and unconditionally accept us and help us feel understood. So how do we achieve both of these things? Number one is through education. So you need to gain a deeper understanding of who you are so you can become confident in yourself as a sensitive woman. And number two is through community support and compassionate accountability. You need a group of like-hearted, sensitive women all around you who understand you, who see you in truth, who support you, lift you up, and offer you compassionate accountability to help you take the steps towards the transformation you desire to see. A group where you are completely free to be yourself and learn about yourself and explore yourself and come back to the essence of who you are. So you can empower yourself with the understanding you need to release the people-pleasing for good and reclaim your confidence to live in alignment with your authentic truth as a sensitive woman. And inside of my membership community, Unapologetically Sensitive Sisterhood, our number one focus is on understanding, both self-understanding and being understood. Inside the group, you receive access to live Q&As and trainings and resources and healing guidance to help support you in gaining a deeper understanding of who you are. And you also receive access to calming meditations and my 9-week emotional alignment course and all the support and compassionate accountability and unconditional acceptance that you need to support your journey. And you learn how to live an unapologetically fulfilling life in freedom and alignment with your sensitive nature without apologies and without explanations. Because without understanding, without gaining a deeper understanding of who we are, and without surrounding yourselves with the understanding we need to thrive and heal and feel supported, releasing the need to please becomes much more difficult because it's the foundation of understanding and being understood that ultimately supports this transformation. Understanding is key. This is how you break the people-pleasing pattern and reclaim your healing and your freedom. This is how you gain the understanding and healing you need to begin living your life as a confident, purpose-filled, passionate, and empowered, sensitive woman. And I want to honor you for stepping forward and taking action to empower yourself to make this change. So when you click the membership link below this video, you get 75% off of the Unapologetically Sensitive Sisterhood group coaching membership for life. And this is my gift to you because I want you to feel and experience the healing and the freedom that is available for you. I want you to gain the understanding you need to achieve the healing that you're seeking. And I'm so committed to your success that I want to make this attainable and affordable for you. So go click the 75% off coupon code in the description and go check out everything that you receive when you join the membership. It's a massive list. So no more people pleasing, no more pretending, no more apologizing or explaining, and no more excuses. Just healing and becoming and unlocking greatness and beauty and freedom that's available for you and inside of you. So go click that link and say yes to your healing and empowerment, and say yes to the journey, and say yes to yourself, and let's do this together. I'm sending so much love your way. And I look forward to witnessing your healing journey and connecting with you inside the group. And I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.